simpler way to ship.
When I hear some of the energy companies advertising themselves as conservation, if I hear Chevron saying we're in the human energy business, I want to throw up. And when BP or other like companies put millions of dollars to put the wool over our eyes, it's about time to just cut all that.
Well, that's the latest take from Tinseltown on the Gulf Coast oil spill. Hollywood heavyweights circling the wagons around President Obama. Suddenly, they're not just movie stars. Now they are oil drilling experts. Steven Crowder is a comedian, a filmmaker, and a Fox News contributor, and he's my guest now. Steven, you know, it's been so interesting to watch the comments, or lack thereof, by Hollywood when it comes to this Gulf Coast oil disaster.
Right. No, there have been plenty of comments. I mean, you'd think the first step would be to clean up, figure out what went wrong. No. That's a common misconception. It's blame Bush is priority #1 in Hollywood. I'm sure you probably got that wrong. It's okay. Don't blame yourself. Many people do. And then, of course, step 2 is to come in like Robert Redford or James Cameron, tell the public, I know better. Like James Cameron said, you know, these guys are morons. I mean, what do you have, a double PhD in engineering and marine biology? I directed Terminator 2. Come on. So then third step is to parry thrust into the political agenda du jour, which is, of course, the Go Green movement. And you're seeing Streisand and Ted Danson spreading falsehoods about offshore drilling.
Right, because that piece of it they care about. They want to use this to sort of prevent offshore drilling, and you know, a lot of in the Obama administration feel the same. But what's interesting is, where's the rally to help the people along the Gulf Coast here? You know, back during Katrina, we saw Brad Pitt, we saw Angelina Jolie, we saw all these celebrities go down there and try to help. Now, you know, it's nothing. And the theory by Andrea Tantaros, a Fox News contributor, is they're not going down there. They're not making a big deal out of this because it's on President Obama's watch, and they like President Obama.
Absolutely. I mean, President Obama has buddied up with Hollywood more than any other president. You're talking about the guy who was texting Scarlett Johansson during the campaign. You're talking about the guy who the Black Eyed Peas created an entire song about him, who appointed Kal Penn, this generation's low-rent version of Tommy Chong, to a White House position. They helped elect this guy. It wasn't the Washington, D.C. system. It was the Hollywood political machine that helped elect him. They have inroads now. They don't want to risk soiling that.
Do you think that it would help anyway? You know, a lot of people out there are actually turned off by Hollywood. And you see somebody get up on their soapbox and tell you what to do. And a lot of people have a visceral reaction saying, if Brad Pitt's for it, I'm against it.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, and same with Robert Redford and Brad Pitt look strangely alike.
It's sort of like the older version and the younger version.
HD is not kind to him.
Well, Robert needs to stay out of the sun.
Yeah, yes, he does. He was right there, and he was getting too much sun in that commercial.
Don't you think? But I don't know. I think that the Hollywood folks, do you think that, because they've been criticized for not going down there because people point to Katrina, you know, over 1,000 people died in Hurricane Katrina. It was such a natural disaster. It was such a huge loss of life. You know, 9 people died, but it's not the same sort of loss of life situation. Does that matter, or do you think that there is an agenda here behind these Hollywood folks who haven't come out and been more vocal about the situation?
There absolutely is an agenda from Hollywood here. I mean, from their feigned sort of rage at the unemployment of the fishermen, but then Ted Danson will suggest an entire moratorium on all offshore drilling, unemploying entire cities in the long run. And, of course, they say no more offshore drilling to save the environment, when the truth is that being dependent on foreign oil is far worse for the planet in both the short term and long term. But you won't see Hollywood talking about that.
Now, before I let you go, you're a young guy. Naked pictures of half-naked pictures of beer pong, for it or against it?
It depends who's half naked. But I don't get the beer pong thing. I don't get it. Honestly, some guy's grubby, dirty, party animal's hands fondling a ping pong ball, then throwing it into my cup that I have to drink. Yes. Doesn't work for me.
And the ping pong, the way it works for people who are not familiar, this is a picture of some White House staffers and others doing it, is you have the beer cups at the end and the beer cups at the other end of the ping pong table, and they're filled with beer, and one side has to throw the pong into the glass, and if they get it, the receiving team has to drink, and if they miss it, then the thrower has to drink.
You could teach the course on this.
Well, my husband may or may not be a fan.
Oh, okay. It's your husband. Right.
All right, Stephen, thanks so much for your insights on it.
Thank you.